Hi everyone, my name is Neerab Kumar. I'm GenAI Architect and Microsoft Certified Trainer. Welcome to my video, which IDE should you use for GenAI development? Generative AI is transforming how we design, develop, and deploy modern applications. Selecting a right integrated development environment or a IDE can help to improve productivity, collaboration, and production readiness. In this video, I will go through three most commonly used IDs. Those are Google Colab, Visual Studio Code, and Cursor. We will also discuss how we can set up these tools to run your code, especially Python codes. We will discuss about. By the end of this video, you will gain clarity on when to use and how to use these IDs. Of course, there is no prerequisite. Anyone want to learn how to use these tools, they can go through the videos. The first idea we are going to discuss is Google Colab. What is Google Colab? It is a free cloud-based platform that you can run, that you can use to run your Python codes directly into web browsers. You need to just open the web browser, log in, and execute your Python codes. No need to install anything on your laptop or computers. Most of the libraries are also available there. By the way, this is not only support Python language, it supports two more languages, R and Julia. R is mainly used for statistical computing purpose, and Julia is for numerical computing purpose. But we will focus on Python code in this video. Some of the important features about the Google Colab include, of course, it is instant Python environment. You can just directly log in and start using it. No setup required. It provides GPU support, although up to the limited time if you are using free version. It gives you notebook interface where you can write in Shell, you can write in your code, execute it, or even your text you can write over there, and you can share your notebook easily. For what purpose it is most suitable tools, especially if you are learning AI, its concepts, then this is very good for this purpose. If you want to try different prompts, if you want to run some experimental kind of things, this will be very helpful. If you want to test different kinds of different models which you will use in your application, this will be very helpful for you. And of course, as we discussed earlier, the notebooks which you use for running these experiments are very easy to share with your teams. So especially this Google Colab is used for learning, experimenting, and R&D purpose. How to set up? Because there is no specific things we need to do for setting up it, because it is cloud-based and you access the browser. But still, of course, you need to just open the Colab. You must have one Gmail account to log into it. Once you log in, then there will be a connect button. You need to click it. It will spin up one VM, which will it will provide you RAM and storage. Then there is also option to select runtime, whether you want to use GPU or CPU, so that you can select from there, or to go for some other language like R or Julia. Google Colab, and I have already provided a link. You just need to type this colab.research.google.com. It will be able to open it. Then you need to log in into here. So let me move this image. Yes, let's put it here for time being. Yes, so once you log in, you will see connect button. Because I had already connected, it is saying reconnect. You will see the first time if you are logging, you will see connect. You need to click there, that connect button, and then it will spin up one VM for you, which will have, see, if you want to see all the details, new resource, it will have RAM, disk, and of course, processing unit, which you can select from here. So here you see, as we were discussing, this runtime, we are using Python, so it is Python selected. You can use for R or Julia also. By default, CPU selected. So by default, I will not change anything. I will keep as it is. So this is from. So now it is selected. And now you can just run your code here. You can just add, say, you can write over here something, and you can run your code. Like in my case, I just wanted to create one small neural network to understand how it works. So even for learning Python, you can execute your code here. So these kinds of work we do in Colab. Right, I hope you get some idea. So let us move to our PPT. Right? Like everything else, Google Colab also has some limitations. Session can disconnect after a few hours. There's, as we talked about, a limited and shared GPU resources there, only in 24 hours, only 2 hours approximately to get that access to GPU. There's temporary file storage, so the data can be lost. You don't have any control on the environment. Unlimited controls you have. And of course, this is not suitable for production applications. Okay, let us go for Visual Studio Code now. What is Visual Studio Code? And short we say VS Code. It is also a free Lightweight code editor developed by Microsoft that you install on your computer to write, run, and debug codes. It supports many programming languages like Python, JavaScript, C#, and you can extend it with the plugin build application, including GenAI project for more simplicity. So basically, this is the most popular IDE, and it can be used for POC, for production level applications. And some of the features include, it is very powerful code editor. It has a lot of extensions, built-in JIT integration. It is also having debugging testing tools included with it, support multiple languages like Python, JavaScript, C#. It also provides terminal where you can execute your commands, and provides Docker support. It is perfect for building GenAI applications, developing APIs, backend service, full stack development, creating RAG pipeline, debugging, testing code, production deployment. For everything, you can use VS Code. And this is, as I told, this is the most popular IDE developers are using. How to set up that? Of course, you need to download and install that Visual Studio Code in your laptop or PC you're using. And if you remember, in Google Colab, we don't need to install anything. It is that we can directly access the browser. But here in Visual Studio Code, you need to download and install it on your computer. Then you can create a project folder, open in the VS Code, and then in this case, you also need to create a virtual environment. You want to execute the Python codes. Then you need to create a virtual environment, activate it. There you will need to select interpreter, and some packages need to install. Many of the things which was already available for you in Google Colab. So here, if you see Visual Studio Code, once you open, you can open your project from here also. Open folder, you go to open folder, select your project folder, and open the code here. There is other way also. You can directly go to Window Explorer, use command prompt over there, write code space dot, then it will directly open into Visual Studio Code. So you can open the folder from here. First open Visual Studio Code and then open your project folder. Other ways, you can directly go to Window Explorer. From there, command prompt, you can type the code space dot, and it will open Visual Studio Code for you. So here, once you open this thing, you need to create virtual environment. How to do that? You see, you need to type here. Like suppose I want to create a here. What you see, GenAI VNV. I have already created one virtual environment, so you can see here, right? And so from the scratch how we can do it. So let me just go and create everything from a scratch for you quickly. So we just go to C drive. This one. So I will create one folder here. I will type IDE demo project. You see, I have type folder name, IDE demo project. Then I created the folder to work on a project, right? So here, just go click that and go to here and type CMD. Once you type CMD, you will get this. Here, go and type code space dot. Once you do this, this folder will be open in Visual Studio Code. This is totally from a scratch, right? So now, but currently this project does not have any virtual environment, so that we need to create. So here, if you go here, this button, click here, and then you will get a terminal, right? So here we can add the code. If you have no PowerShell, you can use PowerShell. Otherwise, I prefer to go to command prompt and type here. So first thing, what we are going to do, we will create this virtual environment. How we can do it? Python -m, then VENV virtual environment. This is the keyword, and give whatever the name you want to give for your virtual environment. I will give IDE demo VENV, or anything you can do. Any name you can go give here, like a Mira VENV. Let's give it. So it will create one virtual environment in your project. Why it is created? Because if you can, why it is required actually, because you can install all the library whatever required in here, and it will because different project has different library requirement, right? So this is specifically for your project. So you see, when I tag this folder get created when I executed this command. So we have here this things what it provide, git ignore, then it included there's a library install all the pip libraries and all. So this it has created a virtual environment for you. So you also need to activate this virtual environment. Only this thing will not work. So that also we have command, just type mirror EENV. And so what you need to execute to activate it, if you go here, if you see here, script and activate. So this file we need to run, right? So name of the first here, if you see this name, inside that we have a script, inside a script we have this. So you just write this script, then activate. Right? So now you see your virtual environment is created and you have this one. And now what commands you use to install any library? Pip install. Pip install langchain _ open. No, it will be no, but then this is not good way to install one by one. So we should suppose if you are having multiple many library you want to use in your project. So one by installing not a good idea. So what you can do, just let me find this thing, or so let me. I don't need to write it. I just wanted to show you how to do it, right? So you see, I want to install all these libraries. So what I will do, I will just write a command, pip install -r requirement and the name of the file, requirements.txt. It will install all the library from it, and then you can create one more file and run your code. Test.py. So then you can write our code over here and then execute this thing. Let me. So this thing we need to do, right? Let it install first, then we'll show you requirement. So you say that LangChain OpenAI is library is installed and available for users. So you can now go and write codes and execute the code. But then one more thing you need to do. What you need to do, press Control, Shift, and P. So you get this interpreter. From here, you select it. You see, you have created one Nira V ENV, right? This environment. So it will be somewhere. Yes, this one here. You select, you have all the list here. So we can install all these things from here. You need to write pip install -r requirement .txt name of the file. So if you run this command, it will install all the library one by one. This is the thing. Only this much we need to do it, right? So okay, it will take some time. Let it do there. We have other window. We'll go there. That's that. Yes, not here. Yeah, this one. Yes. So I just wanted to show you that I did all those things here before running this. Because now OpenAI library is available. So from there, you see this, we had installed it, right? So from here, I will take this OpenAI class. We have also installed .env library. From there, we will take this load.env. What it does, it basically takes credential from your env file. And I will call this LLM to get some response. So let us see whether it works or not. We can execute directly from here, or this button we can use it. This is what we have seen in Visual Studio Code. What we did, we set up to run our this Python code. Let's go back to PPT. So we have seen how to set up Visual Studio Code to run your Python program. Let me repeat once what we have done. We have created a virtual environment using Python, my -m VENV, which is keyword for virtual environment, and then write your virtual environment name. And then you have activated this virtual environment, which is a file actually. When you create, you're created, this folder gets created for this name, whatever name you have given. Inside a script folder, you have one active file, right? So that you have to execute. Then you need to select interpreter. And how we go there, you need to press Ctrl+C+P. So, and then there a Python select interpreter option is there. Choose the one which is whatever the virtual environment you have created, that will be there. You need to select it. That's it. And then you can install library, whatever the library you're looking for. Like you can separately install, or you can list down all the library in requirement.txt file, and then you can write this command pip install -r requirement.txt. So this is the way VS Code is set up for running your code, right? And there are a few more things, like you need to create .environment file. You need to create of course requirement.txt file. Once you practice it, you will know how to create folder structures. There's few limitations. This is free tools provided Microsoft, so it doesn't have capability of the full integrated development environment like Visual Studio Code, Visual Studio, which is you cannot get free of course. Or PyCharm is there, Eclipse is there. So these are the tools which are fully integrated development environment. Although most of the things what you get in Visual Studio Code is through extension. So sometimes if you have big projects, a lot of extension is there. So it may be difficult to manage or slow down. And debugging capability is good, but still full IDE has better compared to this Visual Studio Code. And for environment set up like virtual environment, and you need to do manual configuration. So these are limitations, but still it is used in most of the by most of the developers, and of course for every kind of development. Cursor is a modern code editor designed to help developer write code faster using built-in AI feature like code generation, explanation, and refactoring. Cursor is based on Visual Studio Code, so many of the feature you find same, and some of the features you can see, like it is basically AI-powered code generation. It provides an easy way. It understands your entire code base. Like if you need some suggestion into Visual Studio Code, uh, it will be more focused on your open files, or whatever the files or suggestion you're getting in. But then Cursor is basically understand the complete entire code base. Of course, it has built-in chat for coding help, and also for if you have some refactoring, you need to some refactor some of existing code, it will be quite helpful. And it has some other features because for related to generative AI capability. If you want to develop some generative AI related code, this is very good. If you want to do some POC or prototyping very quickly, you should go for Cursor, because it provides many features which is helpful for executing your code faster and better. So nowadays many of the developers or companies are using Cursor for GenAI development. How to set up? It is almost the same what we have discussed for Visual Studio Code. You need to, of course, only thing difference that you need to install Cursor in your by going to this website. Install your Cursor on your laptop or your PC. Create virtual environment as we have discussed. Activate virtual environment. Select interpreter and install packages. Same way what we have done for. So if you see there is almost same. You have same. You can click here and you get terminal here. You can write execute code here, right? You see here also I've created one virtual environment, advanced RAG. I've installed. I have same kind of setup over here. I have this everything you can do as you have done in Visual Studio Code. Okay, so just you can try it for this one. For I'm using for some writing some MCP server. Here you just wanted to experiment with something, and it is quite helpful. You can also limit some of the limitation, like sometimes what the suggestion is provided not very accurate, but I think that is the case with almost all the tools which is providing AI suggestions. We should not be very over reliant. We should understand the code what was suggested by this tool. One thing is that in Visual Studio Code, even without internet connection, you can do manual development. But in this case, for everything, almost everything you need internet connection related to AI features. And because this is still not as tried tested Visual Studio Code, we should first practice it, see it, how it is helping, then we can decide how to go about the future. One important thing is that for some of the advanced feature, you need to have paid subscription. So that is one of the limitation here. What we discuss till now is Google Colab is suitable if you want to do some kind of experiment learning or R&D. Then Visual Studio Code is what it is. It is suitable for most of the work. It is in fact used in all kind of development. And for Cursor is especially what if you want to use for prototyping or something. If you want to take help from AI or generative AI tools, so that cursor will be helpful for. Or if you have some existing applications, you want to do some refactoring kind of things, then it will be helpful. Good. I think this is what we have discussed. Thank you very much. Happy learning. Be strong.